Hello again, and thank you for staying with us. We continue here. The World Health Organization, as well as UNICEF, have launched a new campaign titled Babies Before Bottom Lines, in response to what they describe as the predatory and unethical digital marketing practices of some infant formula companies in the country. The campaign does highlight how certain companies are allegedly using unregulated online platforms and targeted messaging to influence vulnerable parents, often with incomplete or misleading scientific claims about their products. To unpack the further details, we are joined now by Gilbert Tshitaudzi, who's a nutrition manager at UNICEF. Mr. Tshitaudzi, good to have you on the program this evening. I want to start with the heart of this campaign, Babies Before Bottom Lines. What is the core message that UNICEF hopes to communicate to South African parents, but also policymakers through the initiative?
Yeah, what the United Nations Children's Fund wish to communicate to the South African public is about the inappropriate marketing of infant formula by the formula milk industry. I think that is really the key message that we want to communicate. But also the second one is really to conscientize and also to sensitize, the parents and caregivers in South Africa about some of these unethical, marketing tactics that the formula milk industry used really to communicate, some of these inappropriate messages, which by and large, undermine breastfeeding. And that is really the core message that we want to drive through this campaign.
Let's speak about some of the concerns that have been raised. What are some of the most concerning tactics that you've seen used by baby formula companies in the digital space? And why are they so effective, particularly among vulnerable or first-time parents?
Well, you may recall that, a few years ago, social media was not there. But social media has really become very accessible, and it has become a marketing tool by the industry, at large. This also includes, the infant formula industry. They use, social media to communicate, various messages. And we know that at times mothers are really vulnerable. They need information. They can't get, the right information. At times, mothers are struggling to breastfeed their children. So they use this vulnerability to communicate, their own messages, to push through their products so that mothers can use their products. And these products are provided to mothers as solutions that will solve all their problems. For example, we've seen normal children behaviors like, a child crying. It has really been medicalized. You have got a product that deals with a child who cries. You've got a product that deals with a child who has got colic, and various products that are really, that have become available in the market for a specific child-related, behavior, which are normal behavior. A child definitely will cry because that's how they communicate with with parents. For various reasons. So these are some of the tactics that are used to promote all these products so that they can be used by families. So I think our concern is that the information that is provided to caregivers and mothers is very biased towards a particular feeding choice. It doesn't really provide mothers with information so that they can have that informed. They can make an informed decision about the best way of feeding their children.
I want us to unpack a bit more the effects on breastfeeding, for instance. In your view, how do these marketing practices then affect breastfeeding? Or what are some of the long-term implications, especially for child nutrition and health in the country?
We know that in South Africa, we still have a serious problem of malnutrition, both undernutrition as well as overnutrition. For example, we have a stunting rate of more than 28% where children are not growing well according to their age. This is really has got serious implications for their long-term development. And most of the problems starts really with the foundation, which is not good. And most instances you find that children are not well fed when they're born. they are introduced to various, products that are not really suitable for their own growth and development. This has got impact to their long-term development. But we've also seen the high rates of, severe acute malnutrition in this country. You may recall some of the incidents that were reported in provinces like the Eastern Cape, last year, where children were dying because of severe acute malnutrition. Some of these issues happen because the foundation is not right, and the environment is not enabling. In certain instances, you find that because of the pressure of marketing, where infant formula has really become a norm, mothers will use this product in unhygienic conditions, which will then lead to children maybe getting diarrhea, and this diarrhea may end up causing children to be severely malnourished, and some of them end up succumbing to some of these conditions. So these are really the challenges that we're faced with, and they're very real in our country.
Right.
It's something that is always there, and it's always reported in the media.
Mr. Tshitaudzi, the WHO as well as UNICEF both highlight these, call it pseudo-scientific health claims made by formula brands. Can you give us examples of such claims and explain why they're so misleading?
One of the example is that if your child is crying, there's a product for a crying baby. For example, you also have some products that are branded as premium, and you'll find that when you look at the nutritional information of these products, they're all the same. The only difference is the price, because they are premium brands. Then the price. So this really just have an additional cost to mothers and caregivers. And these products are not necessary. They're not important for the development of the child. You also have, the toddler milk, which have become so common for children. They are not even necessary for children. Children can use, cow's milk when they reach a certain age. Over the age of 12 months, they can be fine. They can use, ordinary cow's milk rather than using all this toddler's milk. They are not necessary. They are not important. So this is some of the information that we refer to as maybe pseudoscience, which is really projected as important to caregivers and mothers, and we know that it is not important at all.
Yeah. But while South Africa has these existing regulations on formula marketing, for instance, why are they falling short, especially in the digital space? Is this a matter of enforcement, loopholes, or even both here?
It's both. You remember that when these regulations were promulgated way back in 2012, social media at that time was not very, popular. It was not really an important, platform. In certain instances, they didn't even maybe exist to the regulators. They were not even aware that it will be used to really promote this product. But now we have seen that it is really being used to promote these products to caregivers and mothers. And there is a loophole there, because the current existing regulation do not talk to the digital marketing.
Right.
And another thing is really the monitoring, which is still really an issue, and it's an area that needs to be strengthened. And we are also calling upon really to government, one, to strengthen the loopholes in the existing regulations, especially focusing specifically on the issue of digital marketing, but also really strengthening monitoring and enforcement of the existing regulations.
Gilbert, as we start winding down our conversation, it's important to note that you're working with parent influencers as part of this very important campaign. What role do these influencers then play in really shifting the narrative? And how can parents be empowered to recognize or even resist this COVID marketing tactic?
Yeah, I think we have seen it, across the board, really, the use of influencers to promote, certain products. And we are really calling upon to parents and caregivers to be very, very, wary and observant of these trends and the messages that comes from these influencers. But at times, some of them, of course, really get paid. I mean, by the formula milk industry to promote certain products. And also, I think on the other hand, there are also those, there may be also be those ones who also promote good messages to communities. So I think what we are calling upon is that for parents and caregivers to be very wary and be very careful of who's providing these messages, because some of these influencers promote certain products.
Yeah.
That are beneficial really to the infant formula industry.
Thank you so much for your time. That was Gilbert Tshitaudzi. He's the nutrition manager at UNICEF South Africa, really helping us unpack the ethical concerns around the digital marketing of baby formula. And as the Babies Before Bottom Lines campaign reminds us, protecting the health and well-being of children must come first.